pressure from the studio. No, I like working with Donner. This is the 6th time I've worked with Donner, and I like the experience immensely. In fact, I'd probably do anything he wanted to direct, you know. We got a pretty good working relationship. And these are fun. And it's good to see Danny and all the whole old gang again. And see if we can put our minds to this time to sort of get some sparks flying. It'll be fun. It'll be good.
I would like to know how different are you approaching your character of Martin Rick in this case?
Not a hell of a lot. I mean, he's got some adjustments to make. He's getting a little older. He's not as wild and crazy as he used to be. And typically, when someone goes through a change, there is some conflict. So he's feeling the strain of it. It's got its own peculiar set of problems. That it's just taking the guy somewhere else, trying to find a new street for him. You know.
I would like to know, for me, Lethal Weapon, in a way, is a turning point for action films because they're action movies, but the characters are very strong and there is comedy. Do you agree with that? And if you can develop an answer regarding the fact that characters are very strong in this kind of action films. And
yeah, well, I think, I mean, there's been a plethora of action films over the last 2 decades that I've been involved in film, and you kind of look at them and like, I got a lot of scripts for that stuff, and the first Lethal script was the first one that got me because for a change I saw action characters who weren't two-dimensional. They actually had, you know, other sides. They had a little more depth to them. So it was the thing that drew me to this series. I mean, the fact that the guy was crazy and wanted to knock himself off half the time in the first film seemed to me quite logical for someone who goes around popping people and crashing cars and stuff. I mean, what sort of person does that? And that was kind of real. But as the series has gone, of course, it's developed more a kind of a lighthearted nature. And because people know the characters so well, there's a perfect opportunity to get into the humor of characterization for the humor. So they're getting lighter as we go.
Detective. 2 seconds.
Here comes the train.
Here comes the train, which is cool.
You should film the train coming.
Yeah.
Ask another question. We'll practice.
Detectives in films are very, very attractive to the audience. Do you think it has to do with the film noirization of the taste of audiences?
The film
noirization, like detectives in the 40s and 50s.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they like to think that they're clever and that, you know, audience lives vicariously through the characters in the film. And if they do something clever and smart and it's dangerous and all that kind of stuff, it's a way to experience that themselves. So it's always going to be a popular genre, you know, getting out of the ordinary. Investigating murders or bad guys or gun running or whatever it is, you know, it's something we don't ordinarily do, so that's good. Quiet.
We'll wait.
I'm in training.
This is really cool. Is this part of the movie or not?
Yeah, it's part of the film. In fact, we have to drive a car or have to be pushed by another car into the way of a oncoming locomotive. So I guess this is it. It's a big thing. Weighs a few hundred tons, I guess. It's a long train, huh?
Wow, it's huge.
They got to take bookmarks across the other side of the country.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Humongous.
It's actually carrying President Clinton's depositions to Washington.
Yeah. No, I would like to know heroes in Hollywood right now. Like your generation of actors seem to play different. The heroes that you play are always human. They're not bigger than life. Audience can relate to it. Is that because we have all changed, or the scripts are a reflection of what we want to see, or?
Well, I think that you know that those kind of action people have been seen, particularly in the '80s. You know, you had those more two-dimensional kinds of you know, heroes. So what they want to see is something a little more refined. I mean, they get a taste for something else. and to understand them now seems to be a more desirable thing from an audience point of view.
So Mel, I would like to know how demanding is it for you to play Rex? It's a humongous film. You have to do a lot of physical stuff, and
yeah, and that's getting harder. Believe me, it's all the running and jumping and fighting and all that stuff. I mean, please, you have to be reasonably fit to do it. And most athletes are usually out of their prime by the time they've passed their mid-30s. So, I'm well into my 40s now, so it's not as easy as it used to be.
Let me ask you about Rene Russo, my last question. Rene Russo, in this story, she's pregnant. Is that something that you like? What's the story with Rene Russo in the film?
Well, they're having a baby. It happens. Flowers, candlelight, music. Next thing you know,